Folks, welcome back. So I wasn't really planning on going live today, but some people were asking for it in the Discord, and I didn't have nothing going on, so I figured, what the heck? Let's jump on, let's have a chat, and figure something out. And I think a good topic for today is going to be about the buying and selling side of Pokemon. And because of that, it's hard to make a video, and condense it into 8, 10, 12 minutes talking about all this, because there really is so much that goes into buying and selling, especially on eBay. And so I'm just going to talk today about some of the tips, tricks, strategies that you can use, that I use, I implement, that seem to work. Obviously, nothing works every time, but there's definitely some universal truths and universal things that always do work when you do go for buying and selling, because and there are things a lot of people don't know, and it's the reason why you can take less for cards when they should have sold for more, and it's the reason you can overpay for cards when you could have found them for less, all by just, honestly, for lack of a better term, just not knowing the difference, not knowing how to do it. So first off, I do want to say it always pays to buy cards in person whenever possible. Look, even with the best pictures, clear pictures, they have 10 pictures on the card on eBay. It's hard to ever tell, every little thing on a card, unlike when you buy in person at a card shop, at a convention or event, or, like off, some local deal. And so normally I wouldn't take a chance buying an Umbreon VMAX Alt-Art right now. I mean, the cards go for around $500 raw. They're barely worth more than that in a 9. And then in a 10, the multiples there's money there, but it's hard to make it work. So I ended up getting 2 of them, just got them back. Both came back as 10s. I picked both these up right from the display case at my local card shop. So it always pays to go check around and look at the cards. I mean, it's a lot different when you can actually hold the card, look at every which angle, and inspect it in person. You have a much higher probability of getting those 10s, especially if you know what you're looking for. So I was pretty happy to get both those back to the 10. I picked them both up for $4.50 a piece because I bought them in a lot with a whole bunch of other singles, and they worked with me on it. So I knew all I had to get was at least 110 to really make some money, but they both came back 10, so I'm happy about that. So that card's up on my eBay store. Guys, for all of you that watch me, if you ever see cards on my eBay that you want, you can always reach out to me, Instagram or Discord or anything, and I'll work a deal with you off of eBay. Because I usually, from what I'm going to show you today, I usually do list my cards on eBay a little higher, and the reason for that is they sell. But another reason for that is because obviously there's fees on eBay. So let's now that we're starting to get some people jump in here, let's go. Oh, godly shout, I love it, man. Hey man, if you're not doing anything, feel free to hop on. Vintage is greater than modern. I love it. Oh man, me and him, we go back and forth a bit on Discord and stuff, but it's all in good fun, man. I see the Discord convinced you to go live. Yeah, they really did. I mean, I just got back from the gym. I was gonna do some sourcing today and stuff, but hey, I got some time for you guys, and I think this is a good conversation. I think it'll help. So I'm gonna jump into it in a second. I'm just letting some people kind of make their way in here before I start moving. Yeah, you made the beginning. You're here. The modern cards that tend to do really well over time, do they just tend to be the ones that were popular when the set first came out? Not always. Like I said, that those cards I showed in the video 2 days ago, a lot of those just regular illustration rares, they can be cards that are kind of underappreciated at the time, and are cards that are harder to grade, cards that may just have lower pull rates, or whatever it may be. There's a multiple of reasons. I talked about it before. That Latios Alt-Art card from Team Up, that was nowhere near the top hit in the set when Team Up was released. I owned that card. I sold that card for exponentially less than it goes for now. It wasn't like the big thing to pull. It never was. It wasn't until alt-arts, or not alt-arts, tag teams kind of became a thing, and then people found that card and it just caught fire with the community, and everyone started to love it, and it pushed to the moon. So no, it's not always the ones that are the most popular out of the gate. Now, a lot of the time, yeah, the most popular cards do stay that way, but it's not always that way. Appreciate it, Jess. Thank you. I hope you had a good birthday, and I hope you enjoyed the Crystal Charizard. Jess is the winner of the Crystal Charizard. Oh, man, which brings me to my next point. Guys, I don't know what I'm going to do with this Evolutions Charizard. I've given it away to 3 different people, and 3 different people have yet to reach out to me. So it looks like we're going to try to give it away a 4th time coming up here soon. Don't ask. I don't even know. I've never had an issue giving away a $400 card. It blows my mind. Hey, glad you're here. Absolutely. And then, guys, then next week, got an awesome live scheduled next week. So on Tuesday, I'm going to have a multiple guest live, and we're going to have an awesome discussion about all the different, selling styles out there, whether it be on different platforms, in person, events, all the different investing styles and the plays and everything. So it's going to be cool to hear that perspective from different people, not just me. And then that'll be on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, I got another guest. So Thursday's going to be a daytime. The Tuesday's going to be a nighttime live. So that way, it kind of gives everyone a chance to see it, whoever, can make it in daytimes and nighttimes. But both are going to have guests. Tuesday's going to have multiple guests, and it's going to be an awesome time to get some new faces on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Tag Team Alt Arts, we're worth like $10 from where they are. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? All right, let's go ahead and jump into some of this stuff. All right. So here's the thing about eBay, right? Especially my eBay, right? Not every card that I list is made to sell right away. Like some of the cards, some of like the, collections or whatever I put on there is to draw eyes to my eBay. And then in every single one of my descriptions, I have my YouTube channel listed. So then it's to drive traffic to my YouTube channel as well. So that's one of the reasons. The second reason is, if I feel a card's hard to attain or hard to grade, right? If I grade a card and it's a hard one to actually grade, I'm okay holding on to that a little longer and asking top dollar for it, because I know eventually, they're going to become more scarce. And even if there are some listed below me, I know that won't last very long. Now, if it's other cards that are really plentiful and people are just grading them in masses, like some of the modern cards, and they're $30, $40, $50, maybe sub $100 cards. A lot of those I usually compete pretty fairly with. I'm usually the lowest list on market, and I try to move those quick. So that gives you some of my strategy. But let's jump in and talk about some of the sales recently I made. So this Shauna card, if you don't know what this is, this comes out of the XY Premium Trainers Collection. I actually recently got a box of those. They go for around $600 to $700 for that box, okay? And it comes with a bunch of different trainers and cards and, Pokemon cards, and like 2 packs. It's really all about the cards. And a lot of them are really hard to grade, as with a lot of XY is. But when I got this back, this is basically what I saw. I got this back in October. And I saw, okay, there's a $399 or best offer, and there's a $425 auction. So I listed it really high. There was only a couple on the market for like $1,000. I listed it for like $1,000. And I started to bring it down. But I had multiple people reach out to me and say, hey, this is only a $425 card. I'll offer you $425. And then some people said, I'll come up a little bit. I'll pay you $430 or $435. And they said, well, you're not getting as much as you want. So I kept coming back at like $600, $500. And this is where you can't listen to others. You can't listen to people who are customers wanting to buy the card. You can't listen to others say you're overpriced and things like that, because what happens is time goes on. Look at this. $449 sold November 27th. And again, I kept lowering the price, but I knew it was a hard card to find, so I didn't want to negotiate. And eventually mine did sell at $499.97 recently, December 6th, just a couple days ago. And so this is how markets move, right? You don't always have to be the lowest list. You don't always have to sell at the last sold price. This is how markets move, is when things become too scarce, you can't find it anywhere else. You're the only seller in town. If someone wants it bad enough, they will pay for it. And now look at this. Now there's a $500 sale. Now that sets a new precedent. So if one comes at auction or someone else wants to list one, they can realistically ask $500. That auction might even go between $450 and $500 now, because that's the new market price. Same thing goes for the Evolution Charizard. So this is another card. It's hard to grade. Evolution's cards are hard to grade with the base set Charizard. Okay, when I listed this card, this is what I saw. Right, I saw auctions ending in the low 300s, and I had people offer on Discord, which I'm sorry, I didn't take your offers on Discord. But I wasn't gonna let this card go cheap, because I know how hard it is to come by, and so I listed it. I was not the lowest listed, and I was higher in the auctions, but I sat on it. And I sat on it for a while, and it just sold. It just sold recently, December 3rd, $395. Now, if I would have been desperate and threw it at auction, would have got a lot less. If I would have just taken an offer because, you know, people are messaging me saying, hey, this card's only a $300 card. I'll offer you $320. And then I say no, and they're just like, you're overpriced. Like, okay, great. So find someone else. I'm not your seller. And but eventually, like I said, things sell out. People, you know, decide whatever they want. But eventually, things like this sell. Where have we got? Godly Shab, you still here, man? Let's talk about some vintage, some first dead base. I know we've gotten a conversation about this stuff. So this Gyarados, right? If I was looking around at this Gyarados, you know, they were listed lower than me. There was multiple listed lower. But when it comes to vintage, guys, you have to remember there's a lot of factors to go in if you're getting into vintage. One, there's a lot with first edition with thick and thin stamps and all that. But really the major thing is people are less likely to want older certification numbers, meaning the older PSA style certifications, the 0s, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. Also, they don't want the old style case, right? They want a new case, a newer cert, things like that. And so you can always ask more for that. Not only that, auctions, they're always going to end lower because people are desperate and you're kind of the whim of anyone that sees that card at that time. Otherwise, you're kind of out of luck. So yeah, there were cards selling for less. There were auctions ending at $11.35. I didn't care. I said, hey, I'm sticking my gut. You know, there was best offers taken at $13.69. Here's mine. Sold it for $16.97. I mean, I sat on it. I knew what I wanted for it. I knew what I thought it was valued at. And look, things take time. Sometimes they're not going to sell as fast, but if you know what you have, same thing with the Mewtwo. I did the same thing with the Mewtwo, right? I saw all these sales, right? I saw $17.69, $17.50, November 8th, right? $19.99 best offer, $19.99. I sold mine $22.99. This one just sold. This was back in October, but November 21st, $22.99. I got full price, right? I didn't discount it. So guys, really what it comes down to is, you know, knowing what cards to sit on, knowing what cards not to. Not only that, okay, let's get into like some more, you know, deeper stuff now. All right, first up, the picture. People will pay more for listings with better pictures, with more clear pictures, where they can see the card very close up front and back pictures. If it's raw, you probably want a few more at some angles showing any type of scratching, any type of imperfections. Those will sell faster. 2, the title, okay? When you are selling a card, you want the title to be as descriptive as possible. So like here, Mewtwo, first edition, shadowless, base set, hollow, 10 of 102, Pokemon, PSA 9 mint. You want to squeeze as much in that title as possible that can catch any buyer search term. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you're shopping for first edition base set cards, always, always, always search. If you're looking for Mewtwo first edition shadowless PSA 9, and then always do another search, Mewtwo first edition base set PSA 9. You will find sellers that don't have both keywords, and you'll find different cards when searching base set and when searching just shadowless. It's crazy. It's crazy, but that's the way eBay works. And that goes for anything. So anytime when you're selling, you want to be as descriptive as possible in the title. Anytime when you're buying, you want to be as least descriptive as possible. So I'll see people when they're buying things, right? And you know, they'll try to be really descriptive in the title. And they'll type in like, you know, Charizard, like Reshiram and Charizard, you know, Sun and Moon promo, SM 247 PSA 10, and they'll put all this description in their title, and they'll search, right? And you know, you could, even if they search by lowest list and do that the right way, you'll start searching and look at this. This is all the results you find, right? You see 8 results and you're like, okay, that's it. But if you be completely undescriptive and literally just search SM 247 PSA 10, that's it, right? It's going to catch a lot more results, 38 results, right? And now you found a lower listing, right? But see, I know this. And so this is another strategy you can use. This is my listing right here, by the way. When you're listing a card, right, you want to go search all those different ways. So you want to go search these different ways and say, okay, so if people search like this, the lowest listing is going to be $95-ish, right? But if they search this way, the lowest listing is going to be that. It's like, well, I'll list kind of in the middle. That way, yeah, if someone does search like this, I won't be the lowest. But if they don't search, if they do search too descriptively, it's going to leave this person's listing out, and then I'll be seen as the lowest. Then I'll get that buy usually, right? So again, when you list, be very descriptive. Try to get all those searches, because here's the thing. Maybe they don't even say 247. Maybe they just say, Reshiram and Charizard, gold promo or something like that. They may say something like that and a whole different plethora of things, come up. And so you have to always understand the customer, understand the buyer, because listen, this is not to be rude or mean, but most buyers, they're not that efficient when they buy. Most collectors aren't, right? They don't know all the ins and outs of how to, populate the best search results. And so you can take advantage of that with your sales. But the other thing is, like I said, the pictures, I've noticed this a lot. Like, people like the scanned pictures, right? They like seeing, clear scanned pictures. They don't like the pictures where, there's like a light in it and there's a glare. You can't really make it out. Even if it's a little cheaper, people won't even take the time to try to look at the pictures. They'll just take the scanned picture. And so that's something to think about when you're putting your pictures in. So those are kind of some things to go off of when you're going through your listings. Now, let me not share my screen. I want to make sure I don't show any information when I get into this. But I'm going to go into the back end of the eBay and talk about some things there now. Let's see. So selling. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Yeah. All right, back into my eBay. So I only have 165 listings. Guys, again, I'm not this big giant store. I'm not doing millions and millions of dollars, just average person, I'm probably like a lot of you in here probably doing more than me. So, I've never tried to act bigger than I am. I've never tried to act like I'm some whale, some big baller shot caller. I'm just a normal dude, showing you what all of us normal people can do. All right. But so one of the things about your listings, right? It's always going to show you the views and it's always going to show you the watchers. Okay. And the thing is, when you have all the watchers, you get, what you can always do is you always have the option to send offers to them. Okay. And so some of the cards, right? Some of these cards I might want to hold on to a little longer, like this Team Magma, Team Aqua, Team Magma's Groudon, and a Kyogre. These are hard cards to find, right? They have like an 8 and a 15. Pop Report is a 10. And then the 9s are even really low, like in the hundreds. So this is something I probably won't accept too many offers on, and I probably won't send offers out on. I'll hold on to that and try to get top dollar. But like, let's say the Moonbreon, right? I have it listed a little higher. If I decide, hey, I want to move some items, here's what you can do. Click on that. Click on send offers, right? You can add a little message in there. You can allow counter offers, but you can just send, $7.99.99. I can send the offer directly to all the people watching that card. I do this all the time. I get sales literally every single time I do this. And it doesn't always have to be like something like that. I mean, it can be, like some of these lower value cards, like a, base set Porygon, right? I can go, it's a $65 card. I can go in here and send an offer for $59.99. A lot of times it gets taken. I mean, I have orders I shipped today from offers that I sent out. And so you can always do that. Now, let me go one more thing too. Another thing you can always try to do is you can try to promote your listings, right? They have promoted listing features. I know Dan's talked about this, Catch 'em All Collectibles. You can promote your listings, pay a dollar amount, or you can pay an ad. So what this is you're already paying the 13% eBay fees. If you want to pay like above and beyond that, they'll push your results to the top, and a lot more people will see it, and usually it'll sell a lot faster, and sometimes it'll even sell for more, because a lot of people, they just buy based on the best recommended at the top. A lot of people don't even search lowest listing. I can't tell you how many of my cards have sold not lowest listed. But again, it's all about, how fast you want to get rid of stuff and how you're willing to late. So you can always go with an ad, and however much you want to give, it depends on how much they're going to push it. And that will help sell your cards faster. But on the flip side of this, for you buyers, right? All these watchers, right? You just saw how, I can send offers. Guess what? Everyone does this. Any, serious seller, they all send offers when they want to move things. And you never know what cards or when they're going to want to move faster. And so if you're looking for cards, right? And, let's just, pick a card. Let's say we're looking for a Lugia V, 186 PSA 10. Say you're looking for the Lugia Altar. This could be any card, any item, any steel product, anything you want on eBay. Not even Pokemon, just anything you want. What you want to do is, right, search by lowest list. Okay. Obviously, there's going to be auctions down there. Go start finding the lowest buy it nows and just start watching all of them, right? Just watch them all the ones near the bottom. Okay. What's going to happen is now you're one of those watchers. Now, whenever those sellers want to get rid of one of these cards and want to send deals, you're going to get those offers sent to you. And sometimes those offers, they might even be lower than what the auctions are going for, just because that seller doesn't want to auction it for some reason, or they just want it, they need to blow it out, right? Something came up in their life, end of the year's coming up, they have other products or cards they need to pay for, whatever it may be. So it always pays to just throw a bunch of those cards near the bottom on your watch list, because you never know when that person's going to send out those offers. And that's a way to, kind of get on their radar and get things cheaper, because, yeah, you can always, if you want to go buy it now, and you can pay the lowest price, but more times than not, you're going to be able to get a better price than that if you just watch. Or, if you want to bug the seller, look, people do this to me all the time, because I have like maybe a handful of my listings with best offer on. And those are things that like, maybe I'm the only one in the market, or I'm listed really high, whatever it may be. And so like, I'll entertain some offers, but mostly I list everything and buy it now, no best offer. So what people will do is they'll message me and say, hey, will you take this? Most time, pretty much all the time, I say no. The only time I really work deals is if people want to buy multiple cards, because then it saves me on shipping and I can move more inventory. So I'll give a deal if you want to buy multiple, but usually I won't. But hey, some of these people will. Sometimes you can message this guy and say, hey, last auctions have been ending at 240. Will you take 240? They'll say, sure, I'll take it. So that's always something you can do as well. There's one more thing I wanted to mention before I get to the comments. I'm trying to think of it. Guys, again, this was like really impromptu, so I wasn't really prepared for this. I just kind of threw this together. So I'm trying to like think of things off the top of my head on some like best practices when it comes to buying and selling. So if you are selling more like niche things, like let me try to think of something like I think Generation. Let me see, Generations. I think it's like an Articuno. Maybe some of those cards are pretty. Let's see, Articuno 25 PSA 9, right? So yeah, so this full art card, right? You can look at some of these, and so say you don't want to take like as low as $50, even though it's a great picture, it's scanned, it's a new cert, right? You can't really compete with it. If you have time, you can wait. Like so. I have mine listed. Oh wow, I'm way high now, I think. Where am I? Maybe I'm not on this card. Or maybe one of these is mine. Maybe I did come down on it. Or maybe it's sold. I'm trying to think of some other cards. Let's see, maybe like the Zapdos 29, maybe. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second. Yeah, these. Anyways, it's hard to find an example off the top of my head, but here's the main point is if there's cards that, let's say maybe there's one other one or two others on the market, and maybe the pictures aren't great or the titles aren't great, or maybe they are, but that once that one sells, you're the next in line. You can always just list yours, even if the card is like $50 and the next one is $100. Sometimes I'll just list my card at $99.97, right? Just under that $100 card, even though one's at $50, because eventually that $50 one's going to sell, and then boom, you're the lowest list. And people might not like it. Some people might try to haggle with you, but sometimes, the buyer might come to the market and they'll say, wow, there's none more in the market. It looks like this card's moving up. It's becoming more scarce. Buy. And you can make those exponential sales. I've done it multiple times as well. And so it kind of pays to have every kind of inventory, right? You want to have low end. You want to have high end. You want to have illiquid. You want to have liquid. You want to have the cards that are going to, churn and burn, move quick. You also want to have the cards that, hey, I'll sit on a little longer, but when someone actually buys it for the price I want, I'm going to make those exponential gains on it. And so, those are kind of some best practices for the buying and selling. But yeah, as a buyer, it really pays to be patient. Make sure you do not search too detailed. Make sure your searches for the cards are as least detailed as possible, because it's going to populate more results. Don't be afraid to go for the ones with the bad pictures, because the bad titles, because you can always just ask them for more pictures, and it's going to deter a lot more buyers. So you can actually get deals by doing that. Always, always, always add all the lowest ones to your watch list. You'd be surprised the kind of offers that you're going to get sent by those sellers. And, obviously wait for auctions. A lot of times auctions will go less. But, that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. Be very careful, especially in this market. Especially with modern stuff that's easier to come by, getting too greedy. I've made this mistake, especially in the recent times. You don't want to auction it, right? Because you see the auctions maybe ending 10% less, so you don't want to take that. And so you listed it lowest list, buy it now. Here's the issue: especially guys with modern. This isn't as much of a problem with like once you get back to like Sun and Moon, XY, vintage, stuff like that. But definitely Sword and Shield, definitely Scarlet and Violet. Anything new, right? Is you'll list your card for lowest list. And then what'll happen is you'll check back a few days later. Well, now there's 2 more lower than you. Well, now what are you going to do? You're going to auction or go low list? Well, then you'll go low list. And what happens is people will keep getting their cards back or getting more on the market, and you'll keep competing. And what you'll do, you'll end up finding yourself listing your buy it now card for 5-10% less than what the auctions were ending at when you first listed it weeks ago, right? And that's happened to me multiple times. And so if it's a card that you know is going to be, you know, heavily graded, or you know more supply is coming, you know there's a lot out there and you're wanting to move it, don't. I know a lot of people are like very anti-auction. I'm not. I auction stuff almost every week. I go through my inventory, and anything that I see ending near what the buy it now prices are, anything I know that like it's going to be a slow buy it now, there's a lot of them out there. I can see the prices continuing to compete down. I'll let stuff go at auction. I mean, it's not for everything. Don't list everything at auction, right? You will get burned, but it's not always the worst idea. I mean, one of the cards I can think of is when the prices were falling with the Lugia V, right? I was listening to Lugia Vs, and then they kept getting lower, and I kept having to lower my price, lower my price, lower my price. And then I eventually looked, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm listing this lower than what I could have just auctioned it at 2-3 weeks ago. And you could have had the money faster. So don't get too greedy with your play sometimes. Sometimes auctioning it or sometimes letting it go a little less is the way to go, because the markets can fluctuate. They can fluctuate up. You can get lucky, right? But they can also fluctuate down. So don't get too greedy. So those are kind of some of the tips and tricks. If I think of more, I'll pepper them in through the rest of this video. But yeah, this was more of just like a hangout. So hope that helped for anyone, you know, who wanted that. So, you know, 26 minutes in, didn't take too much of your day. You can, like I said, there might be some more tidbits I add in, but that was the gist of it. I'll take some questions. We'll hang out a little bit. What's going on, guys? What are we doing today? So SV base. Hold on one second. The Gardevoir and Miriam, top 2 hits. Amazing cards. Can you explain why or why not they would be obvious buys right now, given how cheap they are? Why or why not? So I think they are both fairly easy to grade, near that 50% mark, if not more. We can check TC here. Actually, let's just check. Let's go to the source. TCG Fish, you know, look, guys, I like Sean. I'm not getting into that. Whole Sean drama. Jeez. I didn't know how crazy that was going to be having him on the channel. But I'm not TCG Fish. It's great, but it doesn't update as fast as I'd like. So let's go Scarlet, Violet, base set, PSA pop. All right, let's pull this up. And guys, as always, I've talked about this a million times. Pop reports are a great tool. They need to be considered when you're looking at plays and long-term investments. They are not the end-all be-all. A high population does not mean a card is bad. A low population does not mean a card is a good investment. Just remember that, okay? But yes, it is a tool that needs to be used. All right, let's go check it out. All right, this is, guys, if you don't know what this is, it's psa.com, psacard.com. And you can go to research and you can go to Pop Report. Okay, that's how you get to this page. And then you can search the set. Okay, it's pretty easy. And this tells you every card in every set that has been graded to this date by PSA and what grades they got. So it's a good source, a good tool. So Gardevoir and what'd you say? Miriam. Let's go to the bottom. All right, Miriam. Special illustration rare. 6,000 graded, 2,400 10s, 2,809. So one of the negatives is it is not very hard to grade, right? So a lot, you know, if these pop reports double, you're probably going to have close to double, you know, the amount. It's because it's around 50%, not quite double, but you'll probably see this card get near 5,000 population. So, so it's not the hardest card to come by as a negative. Positive, it's top hit in the set. It is going to be the one that's chased after. If the waifu craze continues or comes back, you know, and the set starts to rise, it will be the card that rises the most probably because it's the most sought after. So that's kind of, you know, the good part about it. And the other good part is they are getting cheap for what, you know, cheap, and it's under $100 in a PSA 10. So, you know, there's not a huge amount of risk there. The Gardevoir right here, special illustration, same type of thing. It's got more 10s than 9s. So you know, when a card's easy to grade, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad long term. It just makes it harder on it, right? But again, they're both sought after, and they've both seen a considerable drop already. So at least you're not buying into the tops of these markets. But yeah, it's going to take a good amount of interest to rise those cards. So, you know, goods and bads, goods and bads. Jess, it's displayed next to my 3 evolution slabs. I could take the other 2 and have brothers. Hey man, Jess, you know, I said man, I know Jess is not a man, but yeah, I know, you know, you might, you know, I'm going to end up giving it away to someone. If no one claims it here soon, we're going to auction it again and your name will be back in the hat. So that'd be wild, wouldn't it, if Jess got both of them? Then I'd definitely get accused of rigging these contests, wouldn't I? How to determine when to get in a specific card, like the Latias Latios. Is there a point? Just rule it out and move on to others. It's a hard one, you know. Here's the thing: it's like you just have to, like, you know, think about the opportunity cost, right? Like, what's the downside risk to the upside potential? After things have moved up so drastically, there's a lot more downside risk than there is upside potential. Whereas something, you know, like here's the thing with a lot of these Scarlet Violet, you know, base, Paldea, even Obsidian Flames cards, you can pick up so many of these. Like here, let's go ahead and look. Let's take a look at what you can pick up. All right. Let's look at like let me go to TCG Player real fast. That's what we'll do. We'll go to TCG Player. All right. And we'll look up Scarlet Violet base again. So SV base. And we'll sort it by cards. So like look at some of these top hits. Like here, like the Miraidon EX. Let's see what that's going for. So here's how I search for things, guys. I don't even put EX, right? I'll just put Miraidon, 253, PSA 10. I keep it real simple because I want to get as many results as possible. So let's see what, 253, that's not it. What is it, 244? Is that the one? 244? There it is, okay. So let's go to sold. Let's see what they're selling for. So like, look at this. I mean, you can pick this card up for $50. You know, when the card itself, where's it, TCG Player? The card itself is $20 plus the grading fee is 15 plus shipping and stuff. I mean, you're like paying a $10 premium, $10 to $12, $13 premium to pick it up in a 10 slab. Like when stuff gets that cheap, it's hard to rule it out. Like, you know, this Arvin card, like, I don't know if that's ever going to be anything, but it's like, if that's something you were like, you know, considering, Arvin 249, right? When you can pick up a PSA 10 for look at that, $30, $31 and a 31, 32, $32. I mean, can you even buy that? You can buy it for 10, grade it for 15, you're 25, there's some fees and shipping. I mean, you're like $26, $27 on that card. You can pick it up already graded for almost 30. It's like when things are that low, there is so little downside risk and so much upside potential when I mean, all you have to do is go back and look at other like sets, go back and look at other base sets, other cards that are, you know, roughly like the 7th hit. You can look at like other cards that are like the 6th, 7th, 8th hits in the set, see how they've done over time. And it gives you a good idea. I mean, because here's what you have to think about is how much lower can it realistically go? Like $15, $20 probably at the lowest. But I mean, how hard is it to go from, you know, a $32 card to a $50, $60 card? Probably wouldn't take that much. And that's double your money. And so there's like things like that you can look at. It's just with that Latias Latios. Let's look at it. Latios. 170. Is that it? The 170? Oh, guys, here's another thing you'll notice. No and sign. I do not use the and sign. I do not use the and word. Just Latias, Latias. Don't use GX. That's it. That's all I use when I search. It gives you the most results. I've played with this a lot of times. Don't be too detailed when you're searching for cards. That's the one thing I want to get through the stream. But yeah, I mean, 1750. Yeah, it's just so high at this point. For me, I wouldn't mess with it. That's one of those things I would be looking to sell at that point. Just me. When's the call-in show? Yeah, I'm gonna have another one of those. We'll have another one of those coming up here. Or anyone who wants to call in, talk whatever they want to talk, we can do that. For anyone who like hasn't been on the channel before or just wants to kind of come on and give their thoughts or ask a question, that'd be cool. What's up, A-Cam? What you doing, man? Wow, I turned around watching your video about Paldea Evolve. GameStop is buy two, get one free. There you go. There you go. Guys, Paldea is so undervalued. It's crazy. So is Chilling Reign. Dude, I get people at my table all the time telling me I'm overpriced on numerous things. What they don't realize is their comments are so saturated in that crybaby community. You know what the best part is? Is when literally, I've had this happen multiple times. I'll have someone tell me I'm way overpriced and this isn't going to sell at this price, like an eBay comment. And the same day, the card will sell. And then I'm a dick with it, right? I'll screenshot the sale and I'll send it to them just to screw with them. But it is funny. It is funny how people get so angry about, you know, like here, I message people all the time. I find people all the time I'm trying to buy collections from, trying to buy lots from, and they shut me down all the time. And you know how I leave it? Hey, no problem. You know, good luck. Good luck selling it. If you change your mind, make sure to reach back out to me. My offer stands. That's how you leave a conversation. You don't get angry that someone won't give you a deal on a card. I still think it's amazing. That's how this community operates. It's weird that by even just selecting lowest list after best match, you can still end up with less results, even if you didn't change it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Every way you search on eBay, you'll end up with less results. Lowest list, highest list, best match. It's always messing with your search data. You know, I mean, booster boxes. Like if you search for like, you know, Paldea Evolve booster box, right? You'll find more case listings than if you search by booster box case or booster case. Like you'll find better listings just searching booster box. So you're always play around with the search results. Always search multiple different ways if you're looking to find the best deals. Kevin, what's up, Alex? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. What do you think about the first anniversary set of One Piece English version? I am the only one that thinks the product is a little scarcity. Will go to the space. Kevin, man, I give the same answer every time on One Piece. I'm not a One Piece expert. I'm not trying to shill One Piece. I don't have large positions in One Piece. I basically take the route of it's a speculative play, but it's worth the risk. And so I just kind of put a case of the products that I want in the closet and see what happens. And it's been working out very well. And it can work out very well in a lot of things, but you have to have the money to be available to take those risks. And it's not a sure thing. New card games fail all the time. One Piece seems to have a lot more fire behind it than a lot of other card games. But hey, look at this. Look at the Lorcana stuff. Everyone's like, oh, the hype. Oh my God, it's going to the moon. One reprint already is killing it, crushing it back down to earth. And so all the Lorcana people are getting, you know, screwed right now. And so it's best to know, you know, Pokemon is tried and true, largest media franchise, has the largest customer base, very liquid. And so just always have some hesitation with any other trading card game. But yeah, I mean, hey, One Piece can continue to do extremely well. The good part about it, right, is when new things take off, like Romance Dawn did, the returns are so exponential, and that's what makes it worth it to take those risks. So just know your risks, and if you know the risks, yeah, by all means, go for it. I mean, the scarcity, as long as popularity returns or continues, of course, it's going to drive it to the moon. Do you think eBay ad fee of 2% is worth it or higher items? Yeah, I do. I mean, here's the thing with eBay ads is, here, let me just go search. We'll go search a random card, right? Let's search like, let's search Umbreon VMAX. All right, 215. Oh, that's sold. Hold on. Stay with me here. All right, we go here, best match. Look at this. See these? See everything that says sponsored? Those are all, okay, those are all the promoted listings. Here's the thing. This guy obviously paid more. This guy paid less. This guy paid less, but they're still up there. So as long as you put any kind of ad, 2%, right? You're still going to be listed up here. It's going to be probably the last one because these guys probably have more than 2%, but you're going to be up there with one of the first listings that gets seen. And so here's the thing. This person's listed at 850, way less than these two. So even though they all paid for ads, this person probably paid less than that person. He's still probably gonna get bought before this one because he's listed for less. So yeah, it definitely pays to still put an ad of something up there. Alex, you should go. I'm going, man. I'm going. Are you in town? Me and my wife are gonna go to the Winsville car show tomorrow. It's at Winsville Flea Market. I'll be vending for the first time. Absolutely, yeah. It's like a 20-minute drive. I used to live in Winsville, so we built our first house out in Winsville, and so yeah, we're definitely driving down for it. So if you're there, I'll see you there. Hopefully we can hook up. Pokey Grindin lives in out there too, so I'll see Pokey Grindin tomorrow at the car show as well. What's up, man? Appreciate it. Alex, what collecticons you going to? Man, I mean, here's the thing. If I go to LA, you don't got to pay for lodging, right? All you got to do is, you just bring a tent and you just stay out with all the other homeless people. I just had to give Old Car Shop a shot at that, man. And then, to give Ponga and Walrus and all of them a shout out. If I go to Chicago, I got to get my Kevlar bulletproof vest on and make sure I'm packing, pack some heat on the sides. And so, that's a little dangerous. And also, Illinois, they don't like you to be able to carry guns, the blue state thing. And so I don't know, man, those two sound dangerous to me. But obviously I'm going to go to KC because it's just a few hour drive for me. Probably Orlando. I got some friends up in the Northeast. Also, me and my wife have never, visited up there. And so I might go to the New Jersey one. I think that'd be a cool trip. I could see some friends and make like kind of a whole little week or something out of it. Orlando, love the weather down there. Just love that state. Probably going to go to that one. So probably, Northeast Florida, the New Jersey, Florida. I'll probably make one in Texas. I don't know which one. I probably want to make one of those down in Texas though. Love to visit Texas. KC just because it's close. I know KC gets crapped on. It's not the greatest, but it's so close for me. I got to drive to it. Here's the thing. Chicago's really close too. It's like a 5-hour drive. I've heard it's not in the city. It's outside the city. So I'll probably end up making Chicago just because it sounds like it's probably in a safer area. But guys, look, I'm from a suburb of St. Louis. So I'm no stranger to living near a very dangerous city. Look, I wouldn't go down in St. Louis without having a couple guns on me type thing. So that's the same reason I wouldn't want to go to those more dangerous cities. But if it's outside the city, I'll probably go to the Chicago one. Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, going to California, it's such a trip. I have no desire to visit LA. Probably won't make any of those ones out there. So, probably those. Probably more of the Midwest, East Coast ones. Probably what I'm gonna stick to. Spent my last 53 on Chilling Rain packs. Love it. Love it. Right now, and that may not be the best time to auction. I'm seeing very little demand for things just a few months ago. I wish I had auctioned. So it just depends. Like, there's multiple cards I'm auctioning that, you just have to weigh the benefits, right? There's cards that I might have like 5, 6, 8, 10 copies of, right? That I got back from PSA that if I let them buy it now, sure, they're selling slowly at like $35, $40, $50. But at auction, I'm able to auction them. They're selling for like $30, $35, $40. And so it's like, okay, I'm willing to take a $5, $7, $8 loss, or less, just to keep churning and burning them and getting them out. And so those are the things I'll auction. Like, what I auction? Oh, like the gold Charizard Reshiram card in a PSA 9. That literally went for like $2 or $3 less than my buy it now listing went for. Like that type of stuff, I'll keep throwing that stuff at auction every day. Like I don't mind taking a 5-10% less if it means I can keep churning and burning inventory, freeing up capital. But no, I wouldn't auction something to where it's like, a $300 card and it's got a possibility of ending at like 210 or 220. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on to those, let those sell slowly. But any of that lower value stuff, the high, real high volume, it always goes for around the same price. And here's what you have to do, guys. You have to look at the card, look at what the buy it nows are selling for, and then go look at the auctions. A lot of the times, if I get cards back in a submission, right, and I look at the buy it nows and I say, okay, it looks like the lowest buy it now is listed at $50. And then I go look at the auctions, and the auctions are all over the place. Like some are selling at like 42, 45, some are at 50, some are at like 53, 55. I'll just throw it to the win with the auction Because I know worst case scenario, I'm selling for like 43, 45 bucks. Is barely under buy it now. I'm able to recoup all that capital immediately. Best case scenario, gets in a bidding war and it sells for 53 bucks, more than what the buy it now is. And so, you know, things like that, it can make sense to this auction things. So yeah, it's hit and miss. You really gotta know what you're doing when it comes to auctions. How far are you willing to make a deal on those double crisis PSA 9s? Not far, not too far. It goes back to that what I was talking about, Tiberius. You could send me all kind of recent sales or recent auctions for lower prices, right? But if you go to buy it, like here, we can do it right now on screen. That's why I love lives. I love being able to like do this stuff live on screen. All right, Team Magma's Groudon PSA 9, right? So we can do that. All right, we'll search by highest first. Okay, gives you more results actually, and we can just look, right? We can look at what's on the market. So these are This is all Japanese, right? So these are Japanese, right? This is Japanese. The lowest English ones from the United Kingdom, which for me is another thing we can talk about. I don't take into consideration foreign sales, or foreign listings. If it's UK, Australia, you know, Canada, most buyers, they won't even mess with it. They won't buy it, right? So I don't try to appeal and be lower than those people. I let those markets take care of themselves. So, you know, right here, I mean, there's none on the market. There's literally no English ones on the market other than this. That's it. So you don't have another option. And then when we look at Team Kyogre Groudon, or Team Kyogre, Team Aqua's Kyogre, PSA 9. It's got a $400 listing on the market, 400, but these Japanese, that's it. That's so you have 400 and you have nothing. Mine are listed at $899 for both, which is 400 plus, you know, the 400 plus for the, so maybe I come down a little bit, but I'm not interested in what the last have sold at. I'm not interested in what they might have went for at auction. That's irrelevant to me, because all I know is if someone wants those cards and they go to the open market, there's none available except what I'm offering, right? And then you can buy them both at once from the same seller, which, you know, that can be a benefit. So those are the things I look for when I'm looking to get rid of things. Now, if you came at me and said, Alex, what, you know, will you take a deal on, I don't know, let's go to my active listings, right? You know, Alex, will you take a deal on, are these sold? No, these are active. You know, Alex, will you take a deal on, you know, like a Temple of Sinnoh, right? Sure, I'll work a deal with you. Or will you take a deal on the XY 143 Magic card PSA 9 that you have a ton of? Yeah, I'll work a deal. Or a PSA 10 Clara. Like, I'll work deals on stuff that are plentiful, but stuff that's hard to come by. Like I said, let's go to, before I stop sharing the screen, let's go to TCG Fish real quick, right? Go to TCG Fish and look up Team Magma Groudon. Okay? English. 17 10s, 163 9s. That card's so scarce. I know there's not going to be a lot of competition on the market with me. A lot of those are in permanent collections already. A lot of those aren't going to find their way to the market. So, you know, and then look at this. The Kyogre's worth. Team Aqua Kyogre. It's even worse. Okay. Right here, English. 8 10s, 189s. So when there's cards like that, you know, those are the things that I look for that you should look for too, of if you are going to decide to take a deal or not. There's just no reason to take those deals. The same goes for, sorry, last thing. The same goes for, where are my, anyway, I'll just type one in. It's like XY, what is it, 123, something like that. Those promos. Yeah. So like these promos, right? I got mine listed as a set. It's not coming up. That's weird. Let's try this. So these generations XY promos, right? Wow, mine's not coming up. I gotta do some SEO on my listing. Let me see real quick. So obviously my listing is not getting to these search results for some reason. But here, let's talk about it. But like this listing, right? So you know, I'm selling all 4 of these. It's $1,000. It's over market price, but is it like it's extremely hard to even find these. So if I go and try to search these, right? XY 122 PSA 9. 1222. So if I search that card, look what comes up. You got, this is a different grading company. Germany, Canada, United Kingdom, different grading company. You have one in the market that's at auction. That's it. That's your only chance to buy that card right now. If we go to XY 123, the Venusaur, there's United Kingdom. There's none. There's none in the US right now. So there's none in the US available for you. If we look at the Pikachu XY 124, okay, there's one available at auction. That's it. There's none in the market. So like I said, things like that, when they're so scarce, I'm gonna sit on them. I'm not gonna look at what they went for at last sold or last auction. It doesn't make sense. Now, a modern card that sells every day, those are the ones you really got to pay. You got to stick with the last solds, last lists, that type thing. Winters, hey, I've been here a while. Enjoy the content and advice. I don't think having Sean on. All right, guys. I gotta do this. I gotta do it. Give me a second. So, I don't know how long you've been watching the channel. Okay, and the reason I say that is I've been friends with Sean a while. Okay? So if we go look, okay, I had Sean on back here 3 months ago. Had Sean on. And I had him on another time too. I think it was longer ago, or maybe it was more recently. So there's Sean. Oh yeah, here it is. Sean right here. 3 months ago right there. And I had him on again with that other video, wherever it was. Where was it? You guys saw it. What the heck is going on here? Here it is. Okay. 2 months ago right here, I had him on. 3 months ago, I had him on. Okay? I've met him at Collecticon in person. I talked to him quite a bit. Okay, so this has nothing. This is what I was talking about in that last video. I don't watch Rattle. Okay? Of course I know who he is, and I'm an idiot, but I don't watch his content, right? I don't watch a lot of people's content. I don't know. Now, I knew that was going on. I'm not going to act like I didn't, but I don't have time to pay attention to all the drama and all the crazy crap going on. Here's the other thing. Rattle, look, I met Rattle at Collecticon, shook his hand, talked to him. Rattle does a lot of good for the community. He calls out a lot of scams, cheaters, thieves, all that type of stuff, which is great. The downside is, and Rattle probably knows this deep down, and David Person kind of hit on it. This is what all content creators go through. It's hard to make content every single day and continuously come up with new things to talk about, right? And so I don't want to create drama. Like, I don't want to get any further into it. I'm not trying to create drama with Rattle, It's just that a lot of the evidence is circumstantial evidence, right? A lot of the stuff is, think about it this way. If you are a co-owner of a company, right? Or you're the CEO of a company and your CFO gets caught doing something scandalous, or your co-owner gets caught with something, you're immediately implicated because you were in that company, even if you had no knowledge of it, right? Even if you had zero knowledge, you're immediately implicated and you have to face the wrath of all that because you were. Now, other things like aren't even like wrong. They're just like, some people don't agree with it, like mystery packs, or like, there's nothing wrong with mystery products. Cutting cards, right? Now, trimming cards, right? That's wrong. But again, circumstantial evidence. Cutting sheets, there's nothing inherently wrong about that. People can have opinions that it's right or wrong, but here's my, I've talked about this in the past. This is my feeling on that. As soon, and this is the thing on the pre-release Raichu with David Person. This is my stance on it. As soon as a card comes out of the Pokemon or old Wizards of the Coast printing, as soon as one card, it could be one, a test card, sample card, anything, a one of one, as soon as that card comes out of that printer, it is officially a Pokemon card. I don't care if it's never released. I don't care if it's sent home with an employee. I don't care if an employee stole it. That is an official Pokemon card, no matter what you want to say, right? As soon as a sheet comes out, those are official Pokemon cards. Even if they weren't cut and they're cut in the future, they're still official cards. That's how I feel about it. You can disagree with me on that, but with all that being said, look, there's a lot of stuff, you know, swishing around, right? This goes for me too. Be careful getting all your information from one source, no matter, because here's the thing, guys. I've talked about it before. You know, you can give me data and you can give someone else data and you can tell us, hey, you play the bear, you play the bull, and we can both come up with very legitimate points, very literal data points I can show you and come up with reasons of why it's a bad or a good thing. The same's true with information. You can show a bunch of different information. You can show a bunch of different, you know, damning evidence, whatever it is, and you can make a case either way. So just remember that, okay? I'm not telling you Sean's innocent. I'm not telling you he's not, right? I know him, right? I'm friends with him. I've talked to him quite a bit. I've had him on the channel multiple times. I don't know him that well. I'm not like close personal friends. I mean, I was never close personal friends, right? I have his number. I've talked to him, text him, things like that. But I don't know all the ins and outs of his past, right? But look, as far as I've known him, everything he's done has been above board. Everything he's done has been, you know, 100% accounted for. Always been nice to me. Always been helpful, generous. You know, forthright and honest with me as far as I can tell. So that's where I stand with Sean. This is not a thing where I found a guy that I saw in Rattle's videos and said, hey, I'm going to have you on to try to get drama going. Guys, I've had him on two other times. I've known the guy for months. All right. So let's lay off that a little bit. All right. Like, here's the thing. I'm willing to talk about anything, right? I'm an open book. I got nothing to hide. That's the thing. I don't have anything. I don't have any deep, dark secrets, right? I'm willing to answer and account for anything, right? So if you think, you know, oh, well, he talks to Sean, so now he's a bad guy. He's doing, you know, nefarious things behind the scenes. If you have any, you know, anything to talk to me about, if you have any accusations or you think I'm doing anything wrong, call me out. I'm willing to give an account for every single thing that I do. So just knowing someone, being friends with someone, having on your channel, you guys are taking it way too far. All right. Is that enough? Did I address that good enough? I know people didn't think I addressed it enough in the past, so there it is. I addressed it. What about Lorcana, though? Down to 130? No, it is not. No, it is not. Is it really? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right. Lorcana. Booster box. What do we got? What? Must be a filter on. Hold on. So 150s and high hundreds. Let's see. Lowest list on Lorcana. This is the first one. Yeah, the first one is close to 160, 158-ish. Selling for 158. Lowest list on this one is about 200, 196-ish. Yep, they're going down. They are going down. Guys, I'm not invested in Lorcana. I don't really believe in it that much. These are the only two boxes I have. I picked them up on Black Fridays for deals. This box is still more than I paid for it. This one is not. So that kind of gives you where I'm at on them. I mean, it's just something I wanted to collect just for the Disney aspect. No, I'm not planning on getting positions as it drops. I don't believe in Lorcana near as much as I do in One Piece. I know a lot of people do. I'm not a Disney guy, not a Disney fan. I mean, I liked, you know, we went to Disney World. Be honest with you, Disney World was lackluster. I would tell everyone to go to Universal Studios 1,000,000 times before you ever set foot in Disney. It's night and day. So I'm not like a huge Disney guy. I just figured, hey, it'd be cool to pick one of each box up, have them in your collection. It's a very little amount of money. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at with Lorcana. But yeah, they're definitely dropping, aren't they? They're definitely on the way down, which we all knew they would be once the reprint came. So yeah, TCG Player. So it's a little higher than that, but yeah, they're going down. Hey, appreciate the super chat. Just wanted to show support since I caught the live. I appreciate that, John and Kyle. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Bro, check the Hoopa XY promo. Picking it up if it goes under 150. Hoopa XY. What is that? Hoopa. what you're talking about? Is it? This is the Japanese though. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about here. Is that what you're talking about? If you are, oh, sorry, I'm not sharing the screen. Is it this thing? This full art? If it's so, that's Japanese. I don't mess with the Japanese market. Don't collect it. So you got the wrong guy to ask about any type of market or prices on that. Sorry. If it's something else, let me know. WTF, I didn't get notification for the live. Okay, going into 100% recap of everything I missed. Man, just like the first 25, 30 minutes, I went over like certain buying and selling strategies. You can go check that out. But otherwise, it was just an impromptu live. I had people in Discord asking, for a live today. And I said, hey, whatever, I'm not doing much. I figure I'd get on and hang out with you guys for a little bit. So that's all it is. No big deal. I sell on eBay, done 200 sales in nearly 2 months now. I had the Charizard SIR from OF up for 52 euros. Some guy messaged me, hey man, this is like the last car I need for my master set, offers me 30. It happens all day, every day. Honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. You know me. I'm super personable. I'm super reachable. I mean, maybe it's not immediately, but I always reply to my Instagram, emails, Discord messages. But I've recently stopped replying to a lot of the eBay messages because I get so many people asking for deals on listings where I don't have best offer accepted. And so a lot of times I'll look at the message and I won't even reply. I don't even want to get into it with people anymore. So if you're ever messaging me on there, like I said, if you're watching my channel, just reach out to me off eBay, right? Because I can sell you off of eBay and save fees and we both win, right? I'll give you a deal. So don't reach out to me on eBay asking for a deal on eBay. I'm not going to do it most of the time. Unless you're buying like 3, 4, 5 cards from me, then I'll definitely throw you a bone. But yeah, I can't take it. There's so many people doing that. There must have been other YouTubers telling people to do that or something, because I've seen a huge uptick in people messaging, asking for a deal on buy it now listings with no best offer. It's getting crazy. Crown Zenith ETBs at $35. The downside risk is so low. We barely ever, I don't know if we've ever seen specialty sets. Now I get regular set ETBs have dropped below 40 or 30 and some still are. I don't even know if I can remember specialty sets really ever getting below 30 market price. I know people can tell stories about, I found them for this here, this deal, this coupon, this sale, but like market price, TCG Player, eBay, I can't think even Pokemon Go Shining Fates ever dropped below 30 for a buy it now listing. So at that price, it's just such a low downside risk for a set that strong. It's hard not to say to buy. So now how long will it take for the supply to run out and for to rise? I don't know, but very low downside risk there. Almost none. So yeah, it's a good pickup in my opinion. Yeah, this definitely goes for people who are like collectors or investors. For people who have stores or businesses like me, I got to be selling every day, Vinny. So it doesn't really matter what the market does, right? It's kind of like day trading. Anyone day trading or option trading, it doesn't matter if the market's up or down, right? You're just playing the whims of the market. Same with this. Well, yeah, the market's low right now, but I also bought a lot of these singles and graded them a lot cheaper than they were 8 months ago. So I'm still making a profit, right? And then when the market goes up, I'll be paying more for the cards, right? Grading them, and then I'll still be selling them for more. So I'm just riding the waves of the market. You got to make sales all the time. So it just depends on what your situation is. Worst card in modern history, bar Evolutions, Reverse Hollow, and Reverse Hollow Zard. What? I'm happy you made a video about the Brilliant Stars box, because even now that 160 euros is very low price, it's the second best set of the era, close with Fusion. Second best of the era? Man, that's up there. I think it's top 5. I don't know about second. But I can see how you get there though. I could take that opinion. Opinion on Astral Radiance. Opinion on Squirtle PC promo. Squirtle, wait, from the 151 UPC. No, Squirtle promo's not from that. It's from it was like a promo. It was a promo that was given out in Pokemon Center with purchase. I got okay. So you get it with, I know what you're saying. You got it with the UPC. I got 2 in the mail, I think. Sell one. So guys, the Squirtle and the Felt Hat Pikachu, they've already ran more than I thought they would. They're gonna come down. That's my opinion. They're gonna come down back down to earth. They got stonked farther than I thought they were, but I would not be buying in at the current prices. I believe they're gonna come back down to earth. That's my opinion. As far as Astral Radiance is a strong set. I mean, we can take a look at it. I'll share the screen. Let's look at Astral. So Astral Radiance. Oh, filter it out. All right, so you got the Machamp, you got the Misty V, Starmie V, Palkia, Dialga. You know, obviously their top hits aren't going to be in line with the top hits in like a Chilling or a Fusion or a Brilliant Stars or, you know, Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, even Silver Tempest. But it is a pretty deep set. You can see it's still in the 20s, still in the teens. Like, you know, it still has $10 cards down to here. It ends the first page, still in the 6s. So, like I said, it's not one of the top tier sets. It's probably like a second tier. The top tier, in my opinion, is like Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, you know, Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars. And then I would say like maybe Lost Origin makes it up there. But then it's like, you know, the Astrals, the Silver Tempests, you know, Battle Styles even below them. But like my top 5 in the era are going to be, you know, Chilling, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin. Those, you know, and Lost Origin being 5th. Lost Origin definitely being below those first 4, my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be good though. When you look at how other sets and other eras have performed, like Sun and Moon, you know, XY, when you look at how, you know, early Sword and Shield is already performing, I don't see this box not getting to 200 plus. No way. No way. Oh yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, I went to Charlotte last year. Here's the thing. I mean, I guess it was a good one. I don't know. Like, I've taken your guys' opinions for it. I've only been to KC and Charlotte, so it was better than KC. But I don't know. Like, I don't know how Orlando is or how, you know, Chicago is going to be or how Texas is. So it's just Charlotte. I've already been there. You know, I'm not hating on anyone from North Carolina. I live in Missouri, so we don't have a lot here either. So, you know, you're in my same boat, but there's just not a lot that I really care to go do in Charlotte, you know? I'd much rather go to Orlando. I'd much rather go to, you know, up in the Northeast. I'd much rather go to like Texas or things like that. So, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be going to Charlotte again, right? Well, DC, I mean, how far, type in, go to the Collecticon and see how far that New Jersey location is for you. Probably isn't too far of a drive. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, KC, like, it's just so close. It's stupid not to go for me. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be at KC. Guys, here's the thing. Let's go back to those things I was... The Shauna, right? The one I showed you that sold for $500. I picked it up at Collecticon for $100. That Charizard, I bought 2 of them. Paid $50 for each of those reverse hollow evolution Charizards. One got a 9, one got a 10. The 9 sold for $70. The 10 sold for $400. Those are just a couple. Oh, the Gengars. I paid like $170 for each of those Gengar V Maxes. Sold them both for like $400 and like $380 or $390, something like that. So it's like just a few cards basically paid for the entire trip. So Collecticon for sourcing, in-person events, local card shops, it always pays. Like I said, you know, got the 2 Umbreons, local card shop. In-person events are great for sourcing, and they almost will, as long as you got the money and you can pre-grade well, they're almost always going to pay for themselves with the amount of cards you can source there. And so that's the thing with Collecticon. I go for sourcing. I'm prepared to spend thousands of dollars. I'm prepared to buy hundreds of cards. And so it always makes sense for me to go to those because the sourcing is just so great there in person. Never heard anyone say Chicago and safe in the same sentence. Yeah. You know what's funny is like, I don't understand why people take offense to it. Like, you know, if someone's from LA or San Francisco, like, you got a homeless problem. Deal with it. Look, I'm from a suburb of St. Louis. No, it's not unsafe here. I can't remember the last time we've had any real crime around here. You know, no one like gets packages stolen off their porch. Like, I live in a very safe suburb that's very well, you know, taken care of and policed and everything. Like 30 minutes outside of St. Louis, right? But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that St. Louis is safe. Of course, it's like one of those dangerous cities in the nation. So it's like, I find it funny people from Chicago always like try to defend, like, no, it's not as dangerous as people say. Like, dude, you got a ton of freaking crime and things that happen there. Just to take it, own it. Like San Francisco, LA, you got a ton of homeless people there. Own it. Like, it is what it is, you know? Like, it's weird how people get offended by like where they're from and the issues their cities have. I don't get offended by it. Or like people like Missouri, I get it. There's not a lot to do in Missouri. Great. Like, but hey, we got a low cost of living. It's pretty easy, you know, way of life here. You know, like I said, it's just a nice place to live. Got 4 seasons, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to act like, oh my God, Missouri's awesome. Like, it's really weird how people have that, you know, that defense mechanism when it comes to where they're from or where they live. I think it's funny. Oh, Anger's in the house. What's up, man? I need to have Anger on still too. Talk about some Magic. Dang it. Guys, when the new year starts, I'm gonna get on this a lot more and have a lot more guests on. I gotta get better about that. I have so many people asking to come on, and it's just you know, I don't really have a lot of excuses. I guess I need to get better about scheduling lives with guests. What do you think about those cartoon trainer collections? The Clara, Professor Juniper, Cyrus, Marnie? Oh, cartoon training collections. I don't know. You know, the Marnie, which one is the Marnie? I forget what promo that is. I know the Clara and the Professor Juniper, those have very little value. Very little value raw. Even the PSA 10s, I think I'm selling those for like 30s and 40s. Cyrus, I can't recall if that's doing very good, but I don't know, you know, like, yeah, the packs inside will have value and, you know, maybe those promos will rise, but they were pretty heavily printed and the promos don't have the value. So I don't know. There might be better places to put your money. Have a lot of Double Crisis blister packs. So I had one of each of the blisters. Bought them for $50 each, and during the boom, I believe they went. God, was it 400? I think they were 400 a piece is what I sold those for during the boom. Like this is why I don't have nice things. This is why I don't have one of those cool collections that you see with other people's channels. I sold all the cool stuff I had in 2020 because it was so freaking high. Like I didn't have the diamond hands. Now a lot of it I'm happy I sold. Right, I made out like a bandit. Most everything from vintage and stuff is way lower than what I sold it at. But yeah, I don't have all that cool stuff anymore. Sucks. You know, in a lot of ways, I mean, the money did a lot for our lives. I mean, like what it was able to do with our, like, you know, paying off so much stuff and updating our entire house and, you know, put money in investments. And I'm happy I made all the money, but, if it wouldn't have ever happened and things would have just kept rising like 5, 10, whatever, 15%, I probably still own all that stuff. So it kind of sucks. We are going to do that family fun. We are going to, another thing, there's another live I have to have. I'm going to have people on from different countries, and we're going to talk about like the differences in the markets. I want to try to have someone from like Australia, maybe like Japan, then maybe like somewhere in Europe, something like that, like UK or something like that. Like, and then we can kind of get an idea of all the different markets. So yeah, that we are going to talk about that in the future, in a future live. I just don't know enough about it to speak on it. So I'm not going to try to speak on something I know nothing about. I'm going to have others on that know about it. So that is going to come up in the future. But you have to cut the sheet. Just get a good cutting machine. Oh, Oh, Don's here. Always gifting memberships. Jeez, Don. #1 channel supporter, man. How's that? What was it? What do we pull for you, man? Lily, how's that Lily doing? Oh, geez. So Disney's doing the game piece thing, huh? These stupid companies, they'll never learn, man. They'll never learn. I understand, right? I understand you need to find a happy medium where people can attain the product at an affordable price. But when you crash items, people don't realize it. You think that all the people who want to buy these cheap packs that they run the hobby. They don't, though. Like, when the hobby grows, like to have value and keep people in it long term, there has to be value to collectibles. If you overprint things, there will not be value to the collectibles and people will lose interest. And these companies think that, like, oh, game pieces, you got to have game pieces. Oh, it's so bad. It's like, yeah, have game pieces, but you got to pay for them. Or do kind of what Pokemon's doing and make lower rarity game pieces, right? Make the same exact card in a low rarity where you can find it for $2, but then have an alt art or a secret rare version with the same exact statistics, right? It's not any better or worse than the other card, right? It's the exact same reprint card, but it's a different artwork and it's way harder to pull. That's worth hundreds or whatever. Like, that's how it needs to be. These companies need to understand that. You have to support the players, the casual, pack openers, collectors, but also the value collectors. You have to do that. I don't know why this is not understood. Absolutely, my man. No problem. I never support Disney if I can help it. They politicize everything they make. Very divisive attitude. Yeah, I should I play the Elon Musk clip? Yeah, you know what? Maybe I do feel like we're finally getting us to a spot in the country where the tides are shifting again, right? Where the pendulum's coming back. It's swung way too far one way, where people are just saying crazy stuff. Now it's starting to come back, and people are finally standing up to the BS and standing up for some sort of morals. And I mean, some of the statements Disney's put out, it's like we're going to go back to more storytelling in our movies and better, just better making of movies and less about messaging and less about all the the woke BS. So that is good to see. Maybe they can steer the course the right way. But yeah, man, I'm the same way. It's hard to support a company that does some of the things they do. Gengar's Choice. What set would you prefer to keep long-term? Silver Tempest, Astral Radiance. Astral Radiance seems to be the cheapest right now with Trainer Gallery sets, and it has a lot of sleeper hits. That's not true. Silver Tempest is cheaper than Astral Radiance. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We got Astral Radiance is what? 130s a box, right? So it's selling, in the 130s. I don't know, 120. That probably had shipping attached to it, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's selling for 130s. And then you got Silver Tempest, right? Silver Tempest is going for, come on. Yeah, Silver Tempest is down to 1-teens. So, man, really lagging, isn't it? All right, Silver Tempest, 1-teens, right? There's one there. So it's definitely cheaper than Astral Radiance. So if you're looking for the cheapest option, it's Silver Tempest. I like Astral Radiance more, just because the set's deeper, in my opinion. If we go to Silver Tempest, take a look. I mean, you got obviously the Lugia, but then you got the Lugia V-Stars, the second biggest hit at $22. Serena, the Unknowns. I mean, look at this. You're sub $10 card. I mean, and this is ridiculous. Like this Flora Seal Stone or whatever, Hollow Rare. But like, yeah, you have like what, 7-8 hits above $10. Like this is gonna drop. So it just isn't that deep of a set. I mean, you're like a $5 card at the end of the first page. Astral Radiance is a stronger set. And I think the prices are close enough where I would just go with Astral Radiance if you're going to pick one. What old sets of Pokemon, what old sets of cards, not Pokemon, see worth picking up? Like garbage game? I don't know. I don't get into all that stuff, man. I wish I could tell you. Yeah. So Lee, man, I know zero, like close to zero about all the Japanese market and all the prices on what things should be. And I'm the last person you should ask about that. I don't pay attention to that market. I'm looking up. I saw Don asked about the TCG Combined Powers box. Don't even know. Guys, I'm real and honest about this stuff. I don't even know about it. Combined Powers box. Let's check it out. Oh, is that the new one they just released on Pokemon Center? Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I wouldn't pay $60 for it. I mean, when the stores and distributors and everything get it out, it's going to be, I'm sure, a lot cheaper. I don't know. I mean, what? You get some legendary birds, some, Scarlet Violet era packs, which are dirt cheap right now. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of a lot of those products, honestly. Like, there's just not, to me, it doesn't seem like a lot of value, and it's $60. I don't know. Sorry, man. That's just me. It could do well. It doesn't look great for me. Is bulk worth keeping? What bulk are we talking about? Are we like actual like penny cards, or are we talking like the bulk EXs and Vs? So I think all the bulk hits are worth keeping. I put them in a binder. I'll probably take them to shows with me and like Collecticon and stuff if I vend. But those you never know what can happen. Like some cards can take off over time and go from like 25, 50 cents to then they're worth like $3, $4, $5. But as far as like the real penny bulk, I mean, sometimes you can have playable cards that jump up, and they're worth $2, $3, $4, $5. But 99% of the bulk, it's just always going to be bulk. Not going to be worth anything. Yeah, I mean, probably best to just get rid of a lot of it, Like I said, sometimes you're going to miss out on some playable cards, but not very often. Crown is the worst set ever? Come on, you're trolling now. We did talk about Lorcana tanking. We did, which everyone knew was coming. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of happy. I got really sick of the Lorcana because it's like it's the same stuff every time. People are just so, I don't know if they just like are so craving. They need something new to stonk and talk about and get on board with. I just got so sick of hearing all the Lorcana BS and how great it was and oh my gosh, they're so cool and oh, these are going to be the next big thing. Oh, it's going to the moon. It's like, it's so refreshing to see it coming back down to earth and getting crushed. And I hope look, I own 2 boxes. I mean, there's collect. I don't care. I just have them, but I hope it keeps getting crushed. I don't mind if these go to sub $100 a box. I mean, I'm just so sick of hearing about Lorcana at this point, to be honest with you. So sick of it. Like One Piece is crushing Lorcana, crushing it by every metric. And you don't hear me constantly talking, trying to stonk and pump One Piece. I talk about it from time to time, but it's like, gosh, some of these people with Lorcana, it's just like, man, chill out. $151. They're releasing more ETBs and UPCs. I've got this from sources with distribution. You got time. The product is going to get cheaper. It'll be investable. Don't get me wrong, right? Celebrations was reprinted. It's investable. It'll be investable, but just wait your turn. Wait your time. Don't you know, if you find crazy deals, right? If you can find UPCs at like $80 or less, or you can find ETBs at like $40 or less, it's a pretty safe bet because distribution is like $31 to $33 on ETBs, or maybe 35 on some of the bigger ones, and then, or like the lower stores. And then like UPCs are like anywhere from like 65 to like 75 for depending on how good of an account you have. And so if you can find them anywhere like maybe a little bit higher than that, pretty safe even with reprints, but I wouldn't go too deep on it right now. You're doing this full time now, right? You might have to choose the worst time to join. So if you can make it now, you can make it when it, I mean, is it the worst time to join? If it is, then I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to make it. I mean, I'm actually doing pretty well. I mean, by my own metrics, like I'm not, here's the thing, guys. Comparisons are the thief of joy. Comparisons are the thief of joy. If you try to compare yourself to this person or that person, you can always make yourself feel less than. But I'm just trying to enjoy my life. Like here's another thing I kind of want to talk about. I get asked a lot about lives. Like, Alex, why don't you do more lives at night? The reason I left my job was to work less nights and weekends. That was the main reason. I was working too many nights and weekends. I wanted to hang out with my wife more. Look, I know like the whole, like, you know, like the stereotype you see in like movies or like content, you know, like, oh man, I need to get away at night with the boys. Oh man, the wife and kids are leaving for the weekend. Oh, I can't wait. Like, one, I don't have kids. And two, I don't know if a lot of people are in that kind of relationship where like they need time away, or if like maybe they just don't like their partner, or like, I don't know, or if it's just like a meme. But me and my wife actually like each other. We actually enjoy hanging out with each other. Our friend groups, like we all hang out together. We don't like have a lot of like just girls and just boys nights out. Like we all go out together. Like my friends and their wives, her friends and their husbands, like we hang out together all the time. Right. And so I enjoy, like, the reason I didn't want to work a job is now me and my wife have our nights together. Right. And we can do the things we like. Right. We can, you know, go places or go out to eat, take walks, watch movies, you know, just hang out, play games, whatever. Go out with people, like, and have more time together, right? So like the last thing I'm going to do is be live every night or a bunch of nights and be sitting in front of a computer while she's like alone, you know, doing something by herself. Like, maybe other relationships aren't like that. You need time away or whatever, but like we enjoy hanging out. Like we don't have a lot of responsibilities. We don't have kids. You know, like we hang out like we're two, you know, college kids still. And so, that's kind of the reason I don't have a lot of night lives, and that's kind of like my situation, you know. So that's but that kind of goes into the whole, you know, question about the worst time, and like, you know, if you can do it now. Like, I mean, honestly, like I haven't worried about where my money's coming from yet. Every month, like so far, I've been making great amount of sales. Obviously the content, I got the content thing going. It's doing well. You know, kind of everything I have going on seems to be going pretty well. Like I'm not getting rich by any means. Like I'm not one of those people. Like I hate that too. You guys know it. I hate. I know Ponga. I see Ponga right here saying, yo, Ponga already knows what I'm going to say. I hate the memeing and everyone acting like, you know, they're making so much damn money, right? Like, oh my God, we all made millions at Collecticon. Oh, our eBay stores are all going to the moon. And like, realistically, and you know, I have people share with me what goes on in different Discords, even if I'm not in them or I don't pay for them. So I know what goes on. I know what's said. I get stuff shared with me. I have insiders. But it's like, look, guys, I know what these people are making, right? I know what a lot of people are. No one's making that crazy money, right? Like people at Collecticons, you know, you'll have the low end people making like 3, 4, 5,000 sales. Some of the higher end guys getting the 5 figures, and the big guys make multiple 5 figures, you know, whatever it may be. That's sales. That is sales. That is before what you paid for the cards and to grade the cards. That's before table costs, travel costs. People aren't getting rich at shows. eBay, they can show sales. That's not before fees and shipping and what you paid for the cards and grading costs and all the expenses that cost to run a business, right? That's not profits. People are not getting freaking wealthy like they are acting like. There's people in the game that are wealthy, but a lot of them got wealthy during the WotC boom because they were in the hobby beforehand, right? Most people, I would guess, are making ranging from 30,000 up to maybe like 150,000. That's probably like anyone you hear talking about how great they're doing, they're probably making in between that and profits. That's pretty much what I've determined. You definitely have people making a lot more than that, the ones that are doing it big, but that's your average, right? Most people are making kind of what you making in a regular job, but they put it online like they're stalking and becoming just like millionaires. That's why I make that joke about the beachfront houses and the private jets and the, we're meeting the president. We're going. It's just like, because it's so out of whack. It'd be like you coming home. It'd be like me coming home from my $150,000 a year, office job and acting like I'm balling, like pop the champagne and it's like, oh yeah, we're killing it. It's like it's pretty much what other people are making at their regular jobs. It's just normal. Another business, right? So I don't know. I guess I'm just a realist. I like people to be real. I just want to act normal. Like, keep it moderate. Like, I don't know. I hate all that stuff. But no, as far as how things are going, to answer your question, things are going pretty well. Every month, I would say that, here's the thing, my eBay sales, I showed it in one of the videos. I mean, I can show it right now. Like my eBay sales are going to be lower than most because obviously I'm an online, content creator personality. So I have a lot of people reach out to me. I do a lot of deals on Discord and Instagram or through PayPal and Venmo. But I mean, my eBay sales are not crazy. I just started. Here you go. They're 27,000. That's what I made in the last 90 days. Realistically, that's mostly the last 60 days because I just kind of started doing this full time not too long ago. But yeah, when you take into account like my Discord and Instagram and all the Venmo PayPal sales, I'm probably near like, I don't know, 35, 40, I would guess. Like, I'm probably doing a little over $12,000 a month. Probably $13,000 a month is what I'm selling. That's sales, guys. For anyone that shows you that stuff, it's sales, okay? The cards cost money. The grading costs money. There's fees. There's shipping, right? Of that, it's probably, it's a lot more, there's a lot more percentage on the Venmo, PayPal sales, right? Stuff like, so I'm not, but I mean, you're probably looking at like anywhere from 20 to 40% profit margins. Realistically, it's what you're looking at. 20 to 30%, honestly, more realistic. So, 30%, 25, 30% of, of like what, 12, 13 grand a month, it's probably like a good, I don't know, what, $4,000 a month, maybe profit is what I'm looking at right now. But, I have other things, right? I mean, I have other businesses I co-own that I make some money off. Obviously content, like some of the stuff I do online. I have some other income coming, but like, you're not getting rich. So like when you see people showing like an eBay of like, I did 35,000 sales in the last 90 days. It's like, okay, you're making a living, but it's kind of what other people are making at their regular jobs. Like, so don't let people freak you out with that stuff. It's so weird. I know I'm gonna get hate for saying all that, but it's the truth. Oh, Ponga, this is about Chicago. Yeah, Ponga set me straight in one of the discords I'm in with him, saying that it's the worst take I've ever had, saying Chicago's dangerous. Dude, you're so crazy. You're so crazy. Hold on. Let's check this out real quick. Ready, Ponga? You ready, man? With a crime rate of 33 per 1,000 residents, Chicago has one of the highest crime rates in America compared to all communities of the same sizes. Dude, like you can't. That's like me saying St. Louis isn't dangerous. Like, dude, come on, man. Like, you gotta be honest. Vegas is a horrible place to live? That sucks. I mean, I've only been to Vegas twice, and it's for visiting for a vacation, but so I wouldn't really know what it's like to live there, but I enjoy Vegas. I mean, there's a lot to do in Vegas or nearby Vegas, right? It's not just the Strip. And it's like it gets the best shows, the best, all the best events are held there, like, the fights, and it's like, I think Vegas is pretty cool. But again, I don't live there, so maybe you're right. Luis, man, getting into like all the mid-era stuff, man. Here's the thing. I've said it before. I can talk very knowledgeably about everything from XY on. I can also talk very knowledgeably about everything from base set through like Skyridge Legendary Collection. Mid-era, I never got into too deep, and I just don't have any desire to. It doesn't interest me. I'm not in the market for any of those cards. I don't buy and sell a lot of any of those cards, and so I just don't know a lot about it. Like, I'm very honest about what I do and don't know. That's just one of the things I'm not super knowledgeable about. So, I don't know about all of it. And I don't get into the whole artist thing. Like, I'm not a big artist like follower. I don't like collect certain artists or chase certain artists, and I don't get into like the whole art thing. Like, so I'm just the wrong person, man. I wish I could help you out on that question. It's just I couldn't talk. I couldn't add any value to that. Next live breakdown. Man, I'll try to have one next week. I have a couple lives next week though, so hopefully next week we'll have one. Got to figure out what sets we're gonna do. If not next week, then maybe like the weekend or like early the week after. Bring Steve on again? I'll reach out to him and see what he's doing. He's probably busy, holidays coming up. But yeah, I'll reach out and see what Steve's doing. Hidden Fate still undervalued. Good pickup. I mean, I don't know about undervalued. Let's check it out. Let's check it out, guys. Hidden Fates. ETBs, $175. They've been $175 for a long time. Let's check out the hits. I mean, here's the thing with Hidden Fates, okay? There's a lot of expensive hits, right? You got the Charizard, crazy. A lot of expensive hits. There's the one Don pulled right there. But the issue with the set is there's too many hits, right? It just keeps going, and these all count as hits, right? So these all count as hits. These all count as shiny hits, right? All these all these like baby shinies, regular shinies, and you just keep going down the list, right? Let me close a lot of these windows. Hold on. It's lagging my computer down. All right. I don't know why it's taking. Gosh. All right. This will help a lot. Get all these windows out. Okay. And anyway, it just keeps going and going and going. And for that's the issue with Hidden Fates is it like sucks to open. Because, I mean, look at this. It keeps going. You got full art shinies down here for $4. Like, all these baby shinies all come in the shiny slot. So they're all going to take up the slot where that Charizard and those evolutions are supposed to be. And it keeps going. I mean, to where you have like all these. So it's like, it's just such a huge set where it's so hard to pull the cards you want out of the packs. And so, a lot of it just doesn't get opened, right? And if it doesn't get open and just too much of it stays in the market, it's hard for the sealed product to rise, even though there's valuable cards inside. I still see it rising, right? I still think it can continue to do well. I just don't know if it's like the best. Like, I don't know if it's going to run to like $300-$400. I see it getting in the twos for sure. I think this will be in the twos before long, but I don't know. Better not say I do that. I'll fight you. What do you do? What'd I say? I want to see who names names. You guys know I don't name names anymore. I learned my lesson with that. Certain parts are sure, but most isn't. Oh, with the Chicago thing? Yeah, I mean, same here, Ponga. I mean, I live in a suburb outside of St. Louis, super safe here. And that's why when you were saying it's going to be in a convention center outside the city, that's when I knew it was all right. Like, look, here, I'll just be honest, guys. I am not a city guy. Not at all. I'm not a country guy either, though. Like, I don't want to live out in the sticks. I'm definitely a suburb guy. Like, I don't want to live in the city where it's all congested and there's a million people all around and there's crime and, I don't want that, right? But I also don't like to live out in the sticks, in the middle of nowhere. I like the suburbs. You get the best of both worlds. If you want to drive in, for an event downtown, only like 30 minutes away. If everything I need out here, I pretty much drive everywhere within like 5-10 minutes of everything I need. There's obviously a lot of venues and things out in the suburbs. Like I said, you can actually have a nice house, have some land, and you're not like so congested and stuff. So I just don't like cities. I don't like hanging, like, even when Charlotte, like, I hate walking the streets of cities. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. So, I'm just not a city guy. That's what it comes down to. This is my opinion, right? Brad G, fake news. A lot of gazillionaires act like products they are selling magically materialize in their closet. Absolutely. Oh, Vegas has become too crowded? Yeah, it sucks. Don, member for 6 months, by the way. Look at Don's master ball he has next to his name. Or no, is that the? Hold on. I gotta look at Don's thing real quick. Give me a second. Give me a second. Is it a? I think he's got the GS ball. He does. Don has made it up to the. I think it's the GS ball, maybe, or maybe it is the master ball. I'd have to look. I vote Chilling Reigns for the next live box break, and thanks again, Alex, for everything. Can't wait to meet you in Orlando. Absolutely, Don. Yeah, I mean, it does seem to have the most value for an opening, doesn't it? For the long run, Charizard GX SV49, PSA 10, or Giratina V alternate PSA 10. Well, the Charizard has certainly dropped a lot compared to the Giratina. But man, the alt arts are just so strong. And Charizard fatigue is getting very real. And that Giratina card is a lot of love. I don't think the Giratina card is going to eclipse the value of the Charizard, but I think it might do better in terms of percentage growth from where they sit right now, actually, as crazy as that sounds. Same, I hate the city suburbs for sure. Absolutely. Why did they put Pikachu in any other Pokemon picture? I hate him so much. Just move on. There is so many other cool Pokemons and other starters. They should get some lights like Totodile. Oh, I love Totodile. I agree with that. Is getting cards graded the way to go versus trying to sell raw? Man, everyone's got their own style. I was just talking to someone last night on the phone. He'll be on a live next week, by the way. I don't want to say who it is. We'll keep that for a secret. But there's just so many ways to run businesses. Like, talking about bulk, right? I mean, bulk, especially in other hobbies like Magic and other things, you can make tons of money just sorting and selling bulk and finding products that have positive EV and just doing tons of volume, right? You can make money just like, finding, local people or, having people that want to sell their collections in lots and buying them at enough discount. You can make money just flipping the singles, right? You can grade. You can do sealed product, right? You can get to a level of enough sealed product and get good enough distribution and find low enough dollar amounts and build up your own following like other people have and make money in sealed product. You can make money every which way in this hobby. And that's why it's awesome. But yeah, I mean, for me, I like the graded route, like the singles. It just seems as if like, I don't know, like if I get a bunch of singles in and they look perfect, it just, why would I want to give those away? Even if I can make a quick buck, I'd rather save the good ones and put them in a PSA 10 slab and make exponential returns. So yeah, it just makes sense for me. But I will say singles are the top selling item at Collecticons. I mean, Pong is in here. He could probably tell you that. Like everyone I talk to, like singles seem to move the best. Binders, you want to have singles at Collecticons apparently. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. I kind of made it to the bottom. It's kind of a little impromptu live. If anyone's got a last minute question, throw it in. I'll get it. Leave it in about a couple minutes. But appreciate you guys showing up today. Had a good time. If you didn't see the video I released earlier today, check that out. It really shows Chilling Reign and Pal D evolved and why they are such strong sets and why you might want to consider picking them up. And the breakdown, it kind of shows you what to look for if you want to go look at other sets and see how they're valued. It's definitely a good thing to look at. And then the video before that, like 2 days ago, showed some like good plays in Scarlet Violet era you can make, whether they want to be investments in the 10s or trying to grade them, a lot of the cards. But it shows you like how to look for those types of cards and those kind of plays in any era. You want to look at Sword and Shield, promos, XY, Sun and Moon, Vintage. It gives you a good like kind of roadmap to go about finding those plays yourself. Because I mean, the last thing I want to do is just be a guy and say, "Hey, go buy this, buy this." Like, I want to show like how I got to what the information I'm putting out, so that everyone else can go, find those same things for themselves, right? Do you have a bunch of singles you couldn't hit 10 in looking to sell? Yeah, absolutely. They're listed on my eBay or TCG Player. So if you see anything you like, feel free to hit me up. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be in like, so here's what with me too. With my singles, you're usually going to get a pretty a quality single, right? Like, so my near mint is going to be like 8 or 9 worthy, right? Anything that's like got a few too many white marks or a few scratches on the hollow, that immediately for me bumps down to light play, just because I don't want to deal with anyone being upset. So like my light play, those are usually going to be a head and shoulders above a lot of other people's light play. And then like if it's even played with pretty much at all, I'll just skip moderate play. I'll throw it right at played. I'll just throw it on the market at played. And sometimes you can pick up a played card from me and it's not really destroyed. Because if it's destroyed, I'll put damaged. I mean, it's probably a pretty good binder copy still. So yeah, I definitely have singles that I sell. Right now, I'm kind of running a little low. I've been having a hard time finding collections to buy out. And again, I told you, like I've been saying, stuff's been selling. I mean, I have consistent sales every single day. So I'm running out of inventory kind of as fast as I'm listing it. So yeah, my single stock is definitely pretty low right now. Dude, did you see that insane barking man had meltdown in McDonald's over Pokemon? Scruffle or Rups? Why not just put Pokemon in battle? No, I didn't see that. That's hilarious though. I just started recently with 151 and completed the whole set. Awesome to hear. Almost have Paradox Rift done. Trying to figure out ways to make money back from what I already spent completing the sets. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, so I like TCG Player for a lot of like the lower end singles. They're a lot. It's just so much easier to list them. You don't have to it's just easier to make a TCG Player listing. And I feel like especially lower end cards, it seems like they're more liquid. But hey, you can list them, cross list them. I cross list everything on eBay and TCG Player now because I have the time. But you can just list the singles online. Some people like to make lots with the bulk. You can bulk up like 100 cards, put a couple hits in there and try to sell them online for whatever people sell them for. I don't know, $15, $20 a lot, or maybe parents want to buy them for their kids. You can save up your bulk and send it into one of the bulk companies and get 2-3 cents a card, 1 cent. I don't know what it goes for. And you can get some of your money back that way. But yeah, it's just, it's kind of a grind. Yeah, under promise, over deliver. You can't go wrong. Absolutely. Yeah, the Giratina is low. The Giratina is low now. Nostalgianomics for TCG Player? Yeah, so the best way, guys, if you guys want to look at any of my stores, just go to the website. It's probably the easiest way, right? Just go to nostalgianomics.com. I don't have any box. These are sold out. I don't have any box. This is where the box brace will be though. And while we're here, guys, if you want to pick up any merch, I still got the merch available. I'm working with a company right now to get off on a different platform and get some new designs coming. So that'll be cool. But the merch will be on there, and then the recommended product section. You guys know that, it's all the different products I recommend buying. For any type of thing, whether you want looking for content, products and services, you're looking for shipping stuff or storage stuff, and then you're looking for collection stuff. All you gotta do is find what you want, click on it. It brings you right to listing on eBay. And so you can do that. But the biggest thing I was going to say is right here. Here's my socials, right? Here's my storefronts. So all you got to do is click on right here. It brings you right to my storefronts. So there's the eBay storefront, right? And there's the TCG Player storefront. That's probably the easiest way to get to my stuff. But again, the TCG Player and the eBay raw singles, they're very low right now. They've just been selling. I list them pretty competitively and they sell. Is setting up TCG Player account a lot of work? Do they ask for a bank account? Yeah, they probably do ask for a bank account. I don't think it's a lot of work. I guess it depends on your definition of a lot of work. It went pretty fast. I got to level 4 seller pretty quick. It's really easy. I'll show you. Here's why it's so easy. Let me get on in my seller portal real quick. I'll show you what I'm saying. Make sure I don't show anyone's like information if I have sales or anything. Hold on. All right. So here's like the back end of TCG Player and how it looks. All right. So like when you here's how you this is all it takes to list an item. Like eBay, you got, you can go make a listing, pictures, make a title, all the BS you got to deal with, right? This is TCG Player, right? So say I want to list the Giratina, or I don't even know what the number is in Giratina. So Giratina alt art, okay? Say I want to do that. You click that, it populates it for you. It has got all the conditions here, right? I don't always trust this price. So what I'll do, I'll click here and I'll go see exactly what they're selling for on the market. Leave the store. So I'll look and be like, okay, so they're selling for around 233, last sold 220, 220s. And then I'll go look at the lowest price near mint, right? All right, looks like 220 plus 399 shipping. All right, so I do that, like, and then look, this is all it takes, guys. You just put in your price, whatever you want to put in. So 223, right? And you put how many quantity you have. I have one. Okay. Save. Boom. I'm listed. I'm on the market. So now if you go look at this, I'll refresh it. It usually populates it pretty quick. But that's literally all you have to do. There it is, that fast. Nostalgianomics right there. And I gotta go take it off real quick because I don't actually have one of those. That's as easy as it is. Like TCG Player is so freaking easy. So that's why I like it. But I mean, you obviously have to set up an account, but that once you have it set up, that's as fast and easy as it is to list items. It's pretty crazy. It's such a better system than eBay is. Because eBay, it's like, you'll type something in and a million, like, if I type that in on eBay, watch this. If I type in Giratina alt art, right? Watch what comes up. You'll have like all these different cards will come up. You'll have like all the different grades, like, different pictures. You won't know if it's near mint, if it's light play, it's all over the place. Like, it's just such a, I'm not sharing my screen. So like you type in Giratina alt art, look, like a different card comes up. This one's from Crown Zenith. Like, you never know like what condition they're in. One might be near mint, but you look at the pictures and it's not. Like, it's all over the place. It's so much harder to search on eBay. So that's why I like TCG Player better for a lot of singles. If it's around the same price point. If I look at eBay and stuff selling for a lot more, I'll just throw it just on eBay. But if they're similar selling prices, TCG Player is so much easier. And I found the buyers are way less picky. eBay buyers are so picky. Can you send me 20 more pictures? It's like, oh my gosh, man. Like, so a lot less picky buyers on TCG Player. Is it worth it? I mean, set collectors are few and far between. It's hard to get your value back out of sets. I don't know. If it's not important to you, it might not be worth it picking them up. I don't know. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I appreciate everyone showing up today for the live. Make sure to check out the video I posted today if you haven't yet. I'll have another piece of content coming this weekend. Don't really know what it's going to be on yet, but I will have a video, at least one this weekend. And yeah, make sure to check back next week because got some awesome guests for the live. I hope this kind of helped with the whole buying and selling side of things. I hope, maybe some of you took some stuff from it and it can help out when you go sell some stuff. And yeah, just keep enjoying the hobby, everyone. Keep it positive and let's keep having a good time. That's it. We're out.